From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Thursday morning. We're tracking several fires this morning. Apple Valley News Now is working to get confirmation on a lot of these. So for now, I'll just focus in on the one that we had from yesterday, the Red Bridge fire. Containment jumped up to 60 acres. That's certainly some very good news. And the evacuations have been reduced even further, but still level 2 beset evacuations for Loping Lane, Nordic Lane, Arrowleaf Lane, Will Road, and then level 1 just kind of, be on your P's and Q's. That would be to the south of Red Bridge Road, north of State Route 970, and then that portion of this area along and to the west of Tinaway Road, portions of Quail Drive, and other portions of Will Road as well. There's a big fire this morning in Walla Walla County, and we've had some house fires in Richland, one last night that caused evacuations. Jade and Jessica are going to tell you all about that here in a second. But for today and tomorrow, more chances of more fire starts, especially in the Kittitas Valley, as we're going to see that combination of dry air, dry vegetation, and the strong wind gusts. So for this morning, already seeing the winds picking up out of the north and west for the Kittitas Valley, out of the south and west for the Lower Columbia Basin, the Bluefoot Hills, and the Blue Mountains. Those only going to ramp up throughout the course of the day, especially after 2 p.m. Right now, temperatures in the 50s and 60s for lower elevations, 40s and 50s up in the mountains, so still feels pretty good for lower elevations. Your day planner forecast, 70s by the time we get to around lunchtime for lower elevations, 70s and 80s at the peak of daytime heating. Bottom line for the forecast, dangerous fire weather in the Kittitas Valley for the next couple days. High temperatures, still warmer than average, but nothing extreme. Maybe some rainfall for the beginning of next week. I'll talk about all this coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Right now on Good Morning Northwest, breaking news coming in overnight. That house fire Josh just talking about in Richland, drawing crews from across the Tri-Cities. We were there on scene, and we'll let you know what we know so far.
Also, a fast-moving brush fire in West Richland, forcing evacuations with strong winds throughout the night, presenting more challenges for firefighters. We have the latest details coming up.
Plus, a SWAT operation in Kennewick leads to 3 people being arrested, including 2 suspects that they weren't even looking for with felony warrants. It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
I'm Jade Elliott. It is Thursday, June 12th. We have a lot to get to this morning, of course, still talking about some more temperatures. But big breaking news coming in overnight out of Richland following that breaking news, where crews responding to a large house fire still on scene right now.
And the crews are still at the scene, as you just said, so take a look at this. The details are extremely limited at this time, but what we do know is that firefighters from Richland, along with units from Kennewick, Pasco, and Benton County, are all at the scene.
Yeah, we're told this appears to be a total loss of this home. You can also hear the fire crews and see the ladder truck that has been called in trying to attack the flames from above.
Richland police have also responded, but right now there's no word yet on possible injuries.
Cause of the fire still under investigation this morning. Be sure to stay with us here on Good Morning Northwest as we continue to update you on this house fire that we've been following overnight now into the early morning hours. As soon as we have more information, we'll of course pass it along to you. And right now, crews are also on scene of a wind-driven urban interface fire in Findlay. That's in an area where kind of the vegetation meets the city area and the city limits. This fire has burned about 15 acres so far and has threatened several structures.
Now, according to Benton County Fire District 1, some outbuildings were damaged or lost, but there's no immediate threat at this time.
So as of right now, the fire is not fully out. Crews are still working on monitoring some hot spots still kind of flaring up out there.
And again, stay with us for updates as they come in. We'll be keeping tabs on both scenes throughout the morning today. And our fire watch continues out of West Richland, where a large brush fire has triggered evacuations near Clark Court and also North Lake.
Yeah, so as of this morning, right now, these strong winds that we're seeing outside still making it tough for firefighters to gain full control of this fire, though they are making progress on getting this fire put out. They have stopped it right now from continuing to progress towards the Yakima River.
Progress of the fire is stopped. What that means is there's still crews are out there monitoring around the structures, making sure nothing pops back up. They're monitoring the area, looking for hot spots, doing some mop-up stuff, but they're not quite ready to call this fire contained because there's some pretty good wind in the area.
The fire first broke out around 8 p.m. last night, and our team was there just minutes later. So take a look at this also.
Yeah, details limited still on this coming in. No reports of any homes lost. But again, there could be some damaged outbuildings.
16 fire units were on scene working to fight this fire.
Evacuations were ordered shortly after this fire started. There's what the evacuation orders looked like. Level 2 evacuations for residents in the area of the 3900 block of Clark Court to Riverside Drive. Those were set into place.
Shelter has been made available for affected residents at Temple Baptist Church. And as of now, the fire has not been declared contained, as you heard there. And acreage affected has also not been confirmed.
Yeah, so again, be sure to stay with us throughout the morning. We are continuing to follow a number of these fires throughout the area. We will keep you updated right here on Good Morning Northwest at 5 and at 6 as updates continue to become available.
Now, with fire season kicking off with high heat, Station 410 in Benton County is getting new life and new firefighters, and this after sitting dark for nearly 4 years. Benton County Fire District 4 says staffing and upgrades are now in place to reopen the station by the end of the month. The station was built in 1977. It closed when Station 430 opened up nearby. But now with steady hiring and growing call volumes, leaders say the timing is right.
It's June and we're entering peak fire season, and the additional staff on duty and being on a station that helps reduce response times to a area of our district that has a high risk all came together as a good time to reopen.
The station has been updated with better insulation, also living quarters, and a new water fill station. As of now, Station 410 will have 2 to 3 firefighters staffed, and once open, crews will be ready to roll with the fire engine, also ambulance and wildland response gear.
5:06 now, on to a crime alert out of Kennewick, where police say a multi-agency operation unfolded yesterday with the Tri-Cities Regional SWAT team assisting in executing a search warrant. So take a look. It all happened around 4 p.m. on West 4th Avenue between South Moraine and South Union Streets. Detectives had tracked a wanted man to that location, but the operation took a turn once they got there.
When they attempted to contact him, he barricaded himself inside with 2 other people. They continued to barricade and refused to exit the residence. So a couple of NFDDs, noise flash diversionary devices, were deployed to try to elicit a response. After the second one, all 3 subjects came out.
KPD identified 3 people taken into custody: Sergio Flores, Samuel Flores, and Rachel Villa. Police say the 2 additional suspects were also found to be wanted, all with felony warrants tied to criminal history and drug offenses.
Now, with summer in full swing, the Washington State Patrol is turning up the heat on street racing. WSP says this time of year typically brings a spike in street racing, especially among younger drivers who are out of school. It's a dangerous trend, and that's why troopers are stepping up enforcement. Their aggressive driving apprehension teams are already on the lookout, focusing specifically on cracking down on illegal racing. But it's not just about writing tickets, it's about keeping people safe. WSP says these races can quickly spiral into dangerous road rage incidents.
We want to have everybody safe on our roads, and we see quite often road rage start as somebody cutting somebody else off, and it may not even be intentional, which then turns into weapons brandishing or worse, shots fired.
Right now, street racing is considered a gross misdemeanor in Washington. If you're caught, you could face up to a year in jail and a $5,000 fine.
5:08 now, taking a look at Kennewick this morning and how its irrigation district is exploring a big project that could help secure the area's water future.
That's right. It's a new reservoir that would boost water storage during the dry years. Apple Valley News Now's William Albert has what you could expect from this project going forward.
Right now, the Kennewick Irrigation District pulls water from the Yakima River Basin, operating under restrictions due to junior water rights. But after multiple years of drought conditions, officials say long-term planning is necessary. They're considering a potential 12,000 acre-foot reservoir near the intersection of Badger Canyon Road and Badger Road. And while this is just one potential location, officials say avoiding water shortages is of the utmost importance.
But more and more frequently, we're seeing drought conditions in the Eastern Cascades, which leads to water shortages. Increasing that water supply is critically important to our community and making sure we have adequate supplies.
Mick Shane says the property where the reservoir could potentially sit was actually purchased by the district years ago, specifically with reservoir storage in mind.
Kennewick Irrigation District purchased this property a number of years ago with the intent to be able to provide a reasonable site for reservoir storage that's within our community. The site behind me is about 330 acres. It's currently being farmed by people that are leasing that ground from the Kennewick Irrigation District for that farming activity.
And officials say being able to access that extra water during drought seasons is critical to maintaining a reliable water supply.
A potential reservoir could help parts of the Tri-Cities in times of drought by adding additional water supply.
We store water when the water supply is available, and then we have it available to us when water supply is low.
This idea has been in the works for years and got a major push after a historic drought nearly a decade ago.
In the 2015 drought was the worst conditions that the irrigation district had seen in its history. That really spurred our board of directors to push towards what are these solutions that we can provide for the community. This reservoir site, potential reservoir site, and others like it really were envisioned in 2017 following an opportunity to see how other people in the world are dealing with these issues. And so this has been a site that we've been looking at for quite some time now, almost 10 years.
For now, the district continues planning, looking for best ways to keep water flowing for the community it serves. In Kennewick, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
And the project is still in the environmental review phase, and the district says it is also considering some other possible locations.
But with dry conditions sticking around, they say building more storage is quickly becoming a top priority.
Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Across the U.S., including right here in Washington, hundreds are taking to the streets marching against ICE raids and military deployment. Coming up, we'll take a look at the unrest making its way across the country.
But first, our Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert will have your first alert weather forecast. Keep it here. Good Morning Northwest. We'll be right back.
The Coliseum in Rome had their gladiator games, but it can't compete with Legends Casino Hotel's Coliseum of Cash. During our Summer of Games Thursday drawings in June, we're giving away over $77,000 in cash, plus a new Kawasaki side-by-side. Just use your Legends Rewards card to earn entries. Who needs Roman chariot races when you can leave them all in the dust in a Kawasaki side-by-side? All hail Legends Casino Hotel in June, and let this Summer of Games begin.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $4,500 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Get employee pricing plus 1.9% and $4,500 bonus cash on a 2024 Ford F-150 STX. Only at your local Ford dealer.
At US Cellular, we created an event to celebrate our customers, like Luana here, called Us Days.
Yeah, they give us special rewards and exclusive deals in everything. It almost feels like we're part of a cool club together.
Sure does.
Slide, connect. Woo, woo, woo. Hug, shake.
Us Days just got bigger. All customers get a free phone with no trade-in.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
You love AFP.
Yes!
Get ready for AFP.
It's America's funniest people.
Hot dog! Hosted by Alfonso Ribeiro and Allison Hannigan. An AFP special, Sunday on ABC.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by the Manthei Group Cross Country Mortgage.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We're also keeping tabs on fires that are not technically burning in our viewing area, but adjacent to our viewing area. One on the Klickitat and Wasco County line, another one on the Gillum and Sherman County lines. And with the winds coming out of the north and west for today, that could provide some smoke and haze to our Oregon counties. We put this into motion. This is 1 p.m. and then a little bit after that, you can see that northwestward push in winds that could bring some of that smoke and haze specifically into the blue foothills of Morrow County, but then overnight some of this could also spread into Umatilla and Walla Walla counties. Then for tomorrow, looks like we're going to go through the exact same cycle in that the wind's going to push all this out of the north and west down towards the south and east. So once again, our Oregon county is going to be the most impacted by this, but some of this could spread into Walla Walla County. It doesn't look like we're going to have air quality that's going to be unhealthy for sensitive groups or straight up unhealthy. That is barring, of course, that all hinges on the firefighting efforts out that way. So to see air quality conditions in your neck of the woods, download the First Alert Weather app, which you can get for free in the App Store or on Google Play. So for today, mostly sunny skies. Of course, we touched on the haze, and the high temperatures are not going to be nearly as hot as it was at the beginning of this week, but still about 5 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. And then for tonight, could have a few showers up in the mountains and the foothills. We talked about the haze, and overnight lows a little bit cooler compared to the past few nights with 50s and 40s for lower elevations, 30s, 40s, and 50s up in the higher terrain. Thankfully, high temperatures staying steady, but more fire weather concerns over the next couple days. I'll tell you why coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thanks so much. 5:16 now, and Marines will be deployed to LA before the end of the week. That news from U.S. Northern Command comes as the city remains the focal point for the nationwide anti-ICE protests.
Demonstrators arguing that ICE should stop mass deportations. The Trump administration saying it's necessary because entering the U.S. illegally is a crime.
LA officials say that the daytime protests have been calm, but they say it gets very different when night falls.
Maribel Gonzalez is in LA with the latest details.
Anti-ICE demonstrations continue in Los Angeles, and so do protester detainments. Police say they declared an unlawful assembly outside City Hall just before last night's curfew.
Once nightfall comes in particular, we start to see others come out who are intent on violence and intent on disruption.
That's a stark contrast to daytime yesterday. Officials say the vast majority of demonstrators are law-abiding.
Thank you for your service.
Our role is to protect everybody's First Amendment rights, and a lot of people have come out and respected that and expressed their feelings in a peaceful way.
The chief says police have not yet needed help from National Guard members. Now, U.S. Northern Command says Marines will soon be deployed to L.A.
Left-wing radicals waving foreign flags viciously attacked ICE and Border Patrol agents as well as Los Angeles police officers.
Protests are also happening in other cities, like Spokane, Washington, which had an emergency curfew last night, and Indianapolis, where demonstrators gathered outside an NBA Finals game. Protesters say they want ICE to stop deporting people whose only crime was entering the U.S. illegally.
None of my family are criminals, or if anything, they're the most hardworking people I've ever met in my life.
In Los Angeles, I'm Maribel Gonzalez.
Now, as mentioned, demonstrators took to the streets in Seattle last night, gathering first in Cal Anderson Park to denounce the recent ICE raids and the Trump administration's decision to deploy military forces in LA.
That event began peacefully with hundreds in the crowd, even before the scheduled 7 p.m. start, some giving speeches, others preparing to march through the city.
And by 8:15, protesters were on the move, blocking traffic on Pine Street, while a helicopter tracked their movement from above. And that was above the group's destination, or the group's destination was initially unknown, but they eventually reached the Henry M. Jackson Federal Building around 9 p.m.
And that's where tensions began to rise. You see the video on your screen right now. A small number of masked individuals started dragging garbage cans into the street and then chairs and tables from nearby buildings.
Police held back at first, but moved in after dumpsters were tipped over, with one being set on fire at 3rd Avenue and Marion Street.
Seattle police confirmed that 8 people were arrested for investigation of assault and obstruction.
And we'll keep you updated as more updates come in. But coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your First Alert full weather forecast. That's after the break in just a few minutes.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles right here in America. And now we've lowered MSRP on Rogue and Pathfinder at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on Rogue or Pathfinder.
Saved is a lifetime earned. Numerica Credit Union. Money where it matters.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
Most people who have lived through an opioid overdose have something in common. They didn't do it alone. Someone was there when they OD'd. Someone had naloxone. Someone called for help. So, if you use opioids like fentanyl, know who your someone is. Use with them when you can. Have naloxone with you. And make sure your someone is ready to help you if you need it. Just like you would for them.
On behalf of STCU, we want to present you with this $1,000 check.
Brian is the regional logistics leader. He makes sure things are ready when it comes to disaster response.
To nominate someone, click on Volunteers Count at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $4,500 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles right here in America. And now we've lowered MSRP on Rogue and Pathfinder at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on Rogue or Pathfinder.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by As You Wish Real Estate Services, Christine Connolly, Realtor.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Again, we have a first alert weather day for today and tomorrow in the Kittitas Valley, as we're going to see that combination of strong wind gusts, dry air, and dry vegetation. Now, initially, we had Saturday tacked onto this as well. We've trimmed that out just because it doesn't look like the winds are going to be as strong on Saturday. But first, the winds for today. Now, keep in mind, I'm showing you the peak time frame of the strongest gusts. That doesn't mean it's not going to be windy before 2 p.m., but the peak time frame of the strongest gusts today, 2 p.m. to 11 p.m., peak gust up around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. Honorable mention to the Blue Foothills of Morrow County, where those peak gusts could be around 45 miles per hour. Then kind of the same song and dance for Friday, right? 5 p.m. to 11 p.m., that's going to be the main time frame, but it could certainly be windy before then. Peak gust around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, around 35 miles per hour in the Morrow County foothills. Thankfully, the wind gust even a little bit less strong for Saturday. Okay, now let's show you Futurecast for today. We will have little shower chances, not for today, but really for tonight. Futurecast is being ambitious, putting some of this in the lower Columbia Basin. I think the best chances are probably going to be in the foothills and for both mountain ranges. We'll see how it pans out, but whatever does fall, it's not going to be that much in the grand scheme of things. Now, thankfully, we have some slightly better shower chances at the beginning of next week, especially for Tuesday, but still, it also doesn't look like we're going to be able to squeeze much rainfall out of this round either. So around this time of the year, we're not expecting any deluges and we're not expecting any atmospheric rivers, but it'd be nice to get some wetting rain. That would definitely assist with the vegetation dryness situation. High temperatures staying pretty seasonal over the next 7 days, so we can definitely take some comfort in this, as even though we're still technically going to be warmer than normal for this time of the year, nothing extreme, nothing like what we saw at the beginning of this week. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. A dry forecast with highs in the mid to upper 80s, but pretty stagnant overall. We'll have some breezes, but the sky cover and the high temperature is pretty stagnant. Then in Yakima, highs in the low to mid 80s over the next week and tracking small shower chances for Tuesday. In Ellensburg, more dangerous fire weather today and tomorrow. Calmer winds Saturday through Monday. Then maybe the winds picking up again next week. In Hermiston, turning a bit hazy due to the Rowena fire, which again is one of those fires burning to the west of our viewing area. So a little bit hazy tomorrow. We'll see if that sustains itself as we head into the weekend. Then for Walla Walla, highs in the low to mid 80s as our forecast stays mostly dry.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, she had the unofficial song of the summer last year, and now just in time for this summer, she announces she's releasing new music. We have all the details coming up in your entertainment news after the break.
Your dream home starts at Floor & Home with Mohawk's Made in America lines. Tariff-free, 4-season flooring made for life. And remember, we'll take care of the install. Love the home you live in.
Okay, y'all, we got 10 orders coming in.
Starting a business is never easy, but starting at 8 months pregnant, that's a different story. I couldn't slow down.
We were starting a business from the ground up.
People were showing up left and right, and so did our business needs. The Chase e-card made it easy. When you go for something big like this, your kids see that, and they believe they can do the same.
Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase with the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
This summer, Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos is heating things up with incredible savings on every piano in our showroom. Take advantage of special bundles on our digital models. Enjoy savings on both new and used options. Get up to $10,000 off on select grand pianos. Enjoy 0% financing for 12 months, and every purchase includes free delivery in Tri-Cities. The hottest part, our 2-day summer sale event happens June 26th and 27th only. Turn up the heat and visit Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos today.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
Affordable? Yeah, we got that. Stylish? Got that covered too. Quality? You can bet on it. At Furniture Row, we stock furniture that's value priced, built to last, and looks fabulous. And during summer savings, every sofa, sectional, dining group, and bed is on sale. Check out the Summit for only $299.99. And just in time for Father's Day, buy one recliner at full price, get the second one 50% off. Or score 48 months, no interest. Summer savings on now at Furniture Row.
June is Men's Health Awareness Month, a good time to take steps to enrich your health and wellness with proper screenings and care. Get more information at applevalleynewsnow.com.
Sponsored locally by Prosser Memorial Health. Learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
Your dream home starts at Floor & Home with Mohawk's Made in America lines. Tariff-free, 4-season flooring made for life. And remember, we'll take care of the install. Love the home you live in.
An amazing garden on Fly the Northwest, Tuesday at 6.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment headlines this morning, we start with some sad news. One of the co-founders and members of the Beach Boys, Brian Wilson, has passed away.
Wilson's family announced his passing on the music icon's official website Wednesday. A cause of death was not released.
In 1961, Wilson and his cousin Mike Love wrote the song Surfin'. By the way, Jessica can vouch for this. I was singing Surfin' USA in the studio the other day.
Oh, yeah, you were.
The pair later recorded the song with the Wilsons brothers along with Al Jardine.
Yeah, the group later became known as the Beach Boys. Wilson was known as the creative force behind the iconic band's surf sound.
In 2023, Rolling Stone magazine named Wilson one of the 200 greatest singers of all time. He was 82 years old. Also, an actor has passed away. Harris Yulin has died at the age of 87. His manager says he died on Tuesday from cardiac arrest.
Yulin spent decades in the entertainment industry. He earned an Emmy nomination for his role on Frasier in 1996.
But Yulin is probably best known as the angry judge in 1989's Ghostbusters 2. Some of his other work includes Scarface, Clear and Present Danger, that's a good one, and Training Day.
Leading up to his death, Yulin was preparing for a new TV series with Laura Linney and Kevin Kline, and it was titled American Classic.
Well, Grammy-winning pop singer Sabrina Carpenter has announced her new album, Man's Best Friend, saying that it's going to drop on August 29th. She released the album's lead single, Man-Child, just last week.
Great song, and the song quickly shot to #1 on Spotify's U.S. and global charts. Carpenter's 2024 album, Short and Sweet, and its single, Espresso, earned her 6 Grammy nominations.
The 26-year-old won for Best Pop Solo Performance and Best Pop Vocal Album. It also sold 10 million albums.
Man's Best Friend is her 7th studio album.
And Josh was just saying the other day that you started listening to her recently, right?
Yes, I started listening to her and Olivia Rodrigo at the same time because I wanted to see what like the beef was back in the day. But both very talented. But I think I'm team Sabrina.
I like Sabrina Carpenter's music more, but I like the album before, Short and Sweet, more. People like Short and Sweet more. Most people do. But I like the emails I can't send. I just think it's more ballady, I think.
That's fair. Okay.
More fun.
All right. Well, we're Team Carpenter, it sounds like.
Yeah.
All right. So much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Breaking news coming out of Kennewick and Findlay this morning. Multiple fires have left crews scrambling. Coming up, we'll let you know what we know so far.
Plus, a disturbing new phone scam is hitting Grandview. Residents report hearing a woman crying and then a demand for gift cards. All the details are coming up, but first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, the cyber attack affecting grocery stores. There are some empty shelves and freezers at Whole Foods and other chain locations. They follow a recent cyber attack on major distributor United Natural Foods. It took some systems offline and is now trying to determine how to resume full service. Meta is rolling out a new set of AI-powered video editing tools. They include more than 50 presets to change themes, backgrounds, even your outfit. Meta AI can also restyle your clip as a video game or anime. The tools only work for the first 10 seconds of your video, and they are free for a limited time, that is. Finally, the future of pet ownership is here. Look at this. A Texas live streamer spotted a family casually walking a robotic dog through a mall in San Antonio. The robo-dog reportedly can recognize humans using AI, and it even makes dog noises. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Airwick's cordless essential mist diffuser's perfectly portable fragrance is for the type of person who's always inviting friends to come on over, baby. With adjustable fragrance levels and a wide range of quick change scents, Airwick Essential Mist creates an inviting ambiance every time you host. So you're always ready for anyone to come on over, baby. Airwick, always fragrant, always inviting.
No matter what kind of teeth you gotta brush, Oral-B Electric cleans better with one simple touch. Oral-B's dentist-inspired round brush head hugs them, cleans them, and gets in between them for 100% cleaner teeth. Your perfect clean starts with Oral-B.
Allergies got you trying every trick? Grab Zyrtec for total relief. It works fast and lasts a full 24 hours. What are you waiting for? Go Z's the day with Zyrtec.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Goldberg.
We just go mute. I know. We have nothing to say. We don't know what to do.
Okay, so if you don't know, this is our 3-degree guarantee spot of the show. And
it's going up.
The jackpot went up. What else can I say?
Jackpot, Josh.
Yesterday went with the forecast high. Thanks, guys. Went with the forecast high of 94 yesterday in Pasco. Tri-Cities have verified at 93. So now the jackpot has hit 1,100. Here are the stakes for today. A little bit cooler, 88 in Pasco Tri-Cities. So if that verifies between 85 to 91, the jackpot's going to hit 1125. If that doesn't happen, all $1,100 could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you can scan the QR code that's on your screen. Right, now we pivot. Today and tomorrow, both first alert weather days in the Kittitas Valley, as we'll have that combination of strong winds, dry air, and dry vegetation, so fires could start or spread very quickly. I talked about this yesterday morning. I'm going to talk about it again this morning because we have multiple evacuations in place. the difference in the evacuation levels. The most important, level 2, be set. That's where you have to have the go bag packed and you have to be ready to leave at a moment's notice. Then level 3, go now. That means it is mandated by law that you have to evacuate the premises. So things to put in your go bag, just going to pick a few of these: change of clothes, map with evacuation routes, non-perishable food, 3 gallons of water per person, and then an extra set of car keys, flashlight with extra batteries, a battery-powered radio so you can stay in touch with up-to-date information. And we'll have more to say about those evacuations later in the show. The winds driving some of these fires, they're pretty gusty this morning in the Kittitas Valley, but also in the lower Columbia Basin. We have another fire to talk about in southern Walla Walla County. That's also coming up later in the show. But 50s and 60s this morning for lower elevations. Later today, up into the 70s and 80s. I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now we're following another developing fire this morning, this one burning just off Glade North Road.
Yeah, crews on scene right now working to keep a haystack fire under control.
Now we're told fire teams will remain there through the morning to monitor any flare-ups.
Right now, no structures are being threatened, but smoke could linger in the area and throughout the day. I know even for myself this morning, leaving the house, coming into the studio, yeah, you could smell the smoke in the air from a number of fires that we're tracking this morning. We'll, of course, continue to track this fire as well as the other ones burning around the area, bring you updates as they come in.
And more breaking news this morning. In Kennewick, fire crews are battling an apartment fire in the 900 block of North Cleveland Street.
Kennewick Fire Department asking people to avoid the area right now as they continue to work that scene.
And we're hearing reports that some residents were seen jumping out of the apartment windows, desperate to escape those flames.
However, at this point right now, we don't know the full extent of any injuries or damage to that apartment building. Still a very active scene, and we, of course, will continue to follow the very latest coming out of that apartment fire throughout the morning. And we also have a follow-up this morning on the manhunt for Travis Decker, the Wenatchee man accused of killing his 3 young daughters.
Now, just after 4 p.m. yesterday, Chelan County Sheriff Brian Morrison and U.S. Marshal Chief Brown held a press conference addressing the search for Decker.
Yeah, in that press conference, Sheriff Morrison said he believes that Decker is still on the run and hopes that he was watching the press conference, saying, quote, "There is nowhere he can go where units won't be waiting."
At this time, the Chelan County Sheriff's Office is going to deviate our resources back to the investigation, working closely with the Chelan County Prosecutor's Office to ensure our case for murder and kidnapping are ready to go, ready to be presented, while our partners with the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol is going to continue to keep their units on the ground.
Part of that is to include deploying our rapidly advancing manhunt program. That program brings more resources from all over to include funding to support your community, the Sheriff's Department, Border Patrol, and all the other resources so we can navigate the terrain and locate and apprehend the fugitive.
The Kittitas County Sheriff's Office is continuing to help with the search, and the U.S. Marshals have now launched what they're calling a rapidly advancing manhunt program with national and international support. Now to local crime, the Grandview Police Department is warning of an intense new phone scam in the area. Residents may receive a call and hear a female crying. Another person then takes the phone, claiming that a family member has been involved in an assault or car accident. The scammer will instruct to meet up without giving a location, only directing the resident to begin driving, and directions will follow. Ultimately, the scammer will ask for gift cards to be purchased. If you receive a phone call like this, you are advised to hang up and contact authorities immediately.
In Yakima, police are searching for a woman and a young boy considered missing and at risk. Maribel Rodriguez Perez was last seen on June 4th around 10 a.m. Take a look at your screen. She was at the Talamus supermarket off of South 5th in Yakima, then seen boarding a Greyhound bus to Los Angeles with 6-year-old Kleber Rodden Rodriguez. Police say Maribel does not have permission to take him out of the state. Now, Kleber weighs about 52 pounds, has brown hair, brown eyes. There he is right there on your screen. Take a look. Investigators believe that the bus had already arrived in LA by the time police became aware of this. Yakima Police Department is now working with multiple agencies to locate them.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, big changes are coming to Benton County with the hope of bringing more people to the Tri-Cities. Our very own Dan Hansen will have the details coming up in your local living news.
And giving you that live look outside this morning. A little windy out as we start our Thursday. This shot from our Yakima Federal camera here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will be back after the break with a look at your forecast. It's 5:39.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles right here in America. And now we've lowered MSRP on Rogue and Pathfinder at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on Rogue or Pathfinder.
Online security is, like, as a mom, one of the very highest priorities. There's so many things that we have to watch out for. With Spectrum, I don't have to worry about it. I know when my kids are on their devices, they are protected because I'm not always sitting right next to them. The reliability, the connectivity, the security, everything is kind of all in one. That absolutely makes it worth it to me.
Fast, reliable internet starting at $30 a month, backed by the Spectrum commitment to keep you connected.
When it comes to legal matters, you need someone you can trust. At Morphine Law Firm, we are sincerely grateful for the last 5 years of trust and support you've given our firm. Your trust and support have been a major driving force behind our mission for justice. We offer free consultations, and we may not always tell you what you want to hear, but we try to steer you in the right direction. We appreciate your continued trust and confidence in Morphine Law Firm.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Get employee pricing plus 1.9% and $4,500 bonus cash on a 2024 Ford F-150 STX. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Got a birthday coming up, celebrating a big win, or just want to gather the crew for a pizza and a good time? For decades, Hubby's Pizza has been the go-to spot for family, friends, and fun. Reserve your table and bring the whole gang. Kids, family, teammates, whoever loves great pizza and good vibes. Dig into your favorite pizza, hit up the fresh salad bar, and let the kids have a blast in the arcade. And if the party's at your place, no problem. Hubby's now delivers through Grubhub and DoorDash. A community tradition, a place to celebrate. Acquire the Hubby's habit today.
Since 1983, Nissan has been assembling award-winning vehicles right here in America. And now we've lowered MSRP on Rogue and Pathfinder at the Nissan Summer Sales Event.
Get 0% APR for 60 months on Rogue or Pathfinder.
Are you ready for Alicia Keys' Good Morning America live tomorrow morning? The one, the only Alicia Keys on GMA. And an incredible live performance from her Broadway hit, Hell's Kitchen, tomorrow on Good Morning America.
Bachelor in Paradise is back, and it's bigger, bolder, and golder than ever. There will be adventure, drama, and romance, but it wouldn't be paradise without surprises along the way.
It's finally here!
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. It's going to be similar to yesterday's forecast, except a little bit cooler, but the wind's still very strong in the Kittitas Valley. They could peak around 50 miles per hour, the gust that is. And then in the Yakima Valley, these peak gusts between 25 to 30 miles per hour. Lots of sunshine, highs in the mid-80s. Then for the lower Columbia Basin, mid to upper 80s, a little bit breezy. Yesterday was windy. Today I would classify it as breezy, but still certainly pretty windy in the Bluefoot Hills of Morrow County. Those gusts out of the north and west around 45 miles per hour. And again, some of those winds could bring the smoke that we're seeing from the fires burning in Sherman, Gillum, Klickitat, and Wasco counties. That could impact air quality a little bit for Oregon counties. And then up in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains, temperatures in the 60s and 70s, just a little bit breezy up that way. Here is today's vegetation dryness forecast. Remember, 100% would indicate each microclimate's driest vegetation since the turn of the century. And look at the number in the Cascades in the upper Yakima Basin, 97%. We would say that is a significant level of vegetation dryness. The rest of us are just in that elevated category. Thankfully, these numbers are going to improve with some rain chances into tomorrow, and we'll have additional rain chances at the beginning of next week. I'll show you some of those chances coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much. Well, we are talking about local living now. Benton County Fairgrounds have become a year-round hub of activity.
Apple Valley News Now's Dan Hansen says big changes are on the way, though.
Changes that promise to bring even more events and more people to the Tri-Cities.
Right now, the parking lot behind me is under construction, but it's all part of a multi-million-dollar project for what's possible here. April was wild at the Benton County Fairgrounds in Kennewick. From boa constrictors to big rigs, there was barely a break in the action.
I think it shows the growth of this community.
And now that space is getting a $12 million glow-up. First stop, a $3 million parking lot project to make grounds easier to access. But the real show is what's coming next. The iconic grandstand at McDaniel Arena, complete with saloon-style flair, is saying goodbye. In its place, a bigger, better venue with more seating, more accessibility, and maybe even more music.
It's not just the growth of the fairgrounds property. That's honestly secondary to the economic impact that these events bring into the community.
Kevin Lewis, the president and CEO with Visit Tri-Cities, says these events bring a huge boost to the Tri-Cities economy.
One of the big ones that uses the fairgrounds is the Fair and Rodeo. I think that event brings about 18,000 visitors from out of the area and probably $1.5 million in economic impact. And there are some other ones that have, maybe lesser numbers, but they're still impactful as they come in throughout the year.
The mural? Don't worry, they're working to bring it back too. Because while progress is the goal, preserving tradition is still a part of the plan.
The mural that's on front of Sundowns right now, our primary focus and goal with that is we're going to have that digitized. And it's going to be, that mural will be part of the new grandstands. It'll just be through a digital representation of it.
Construction on the grandstands kicks off in August, just after the fair. And by this time next year, the Benton Franklin Fairgrounds will attract a whole new kind of crowd. Reporting in Kennewick, Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
Growing up here, there's a lot of memories and nostalgia of the fair, and so hearing that they're going to keep some of those murals and those same integral pieces is nice. So this project is being paid for through economic dollars through the county.
And French says he wants to make sure that everyone knows the shoots over the rodeo arena are not going anywhere.
See, you got to keep things as they are sometimes.
Keep that little local touch, right? Well, designs for the new arena haven't been released yet, but they should be in soon.
Exciting.
I know. Okay, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up after the break, we have your morning sprint, everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning, and giving you that live look outside from our Yakima Federal camera here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth is going to be back with your full first alert forecast. We're seeing a little bit of wind out there this morning. It's 5:47. We'll be right back.
Summer's heating up. That means it's time to dive in. Pasco's Memorial Aquatic Park opens Saturday, June 14th. Get signed up for swim lessons, grab your season passes, and don't miss your chance to join the Pasco swim team. Looking to cool off? Open swim runs daily from 1 to 5:45 p.m. So grab the family and come make a splash. It's all happening at the Pasco Memorial Aquatic Park. Your summer fun starts here.
For 600 different cigars and 125 pipe tobaccos. For every cigar rated 96 and higher by Cigar Aficionado. For 200 accessories including dozens of humidors and fine pipes. It's the educated cigar.
Spring sale at Queensgate Gardens. 25% off annuals, baskets, and vegetable starts. Tacos and more on site. Queensgate Gardens, where adventure grows.
Doug. Okay, here's what you want to do. Save hundreds when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
Are you a caddy?
No, I'm a Doug, and that's a Limu.
Okay, I'm gonna putt now.
Okay, I'm gonna watch you putt.
Oh!
Nice birdie.
Yes, he is a very nice bird.
Oh no, Limu! The cards!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Debbie Robertson. I'm just putting on the sales tags for the Nissan Summer Sales event going on right now at Bill Robertson Nissan. We brought in extra inventory just for this event.
New Nissan Rogues under $30,000 with 0% financing for 60 months. Or drive home a new 2025 Nissan Pathfinder at 0% for 60 months starting at $37,499. You can even drive away in a brand new Nissan Versa for under $20,000. So come see us today at Bill and Debbie Robertson Nissan.
At Fred's, not only do we guarantee the best prices, we prove it. Our live price card keeps things transparent, showing you real-time prices. No gimmicks, just the best prices on in-stock, get-it-today inventory. And when it comes to beating the big box stores, our prices aren't just competitive, they're unbeatable. Check out how we stack up. Whether it's this amazing new fridge or this energy-efficient dishwasher, Fred's prices are always the best. At Fred's, we sell appliances, only appliances.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacy Lee weather. Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today and tomorrow, both first alert weather days, as we can see more fires starting and spreading quickly, especially in the Kittitas Valley. That's where we're going to have the best or the worst combination of ingredients: strong winds, dry air, and dry vegetation. So the wind gust forecast for today, keep in mind, this is the peak of the strongest winds, 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. So it's going to be windy/breezy for this morning, but the ante will get up after 2 p.m. Peak gusts around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. Honorable mention to the Morrow County foothills. It's going to be pretty rowdy out that way as well. For Friday, same thing, 5 p.m. to 11 p.m. Probably going to be windy before then, but the peak wind gusts during that time frame, peak gusts still around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. Thankfully, the wind gusts going to be less strong as we head into Saturday. Okay, Futurecast radar will pick up on a few showers for tonight. It's being very ambitious. It's suggesting maybe some showers in the basin. Me personally, I think the better chances are going to be in the foothills, the Cascades, and the Blues. But whatever does end up falling, if it falls, isn't going to be very much at all. And rain chances going to stay pretty minimal over the next 7 days. Our next best chance of rain looks like it's going to be on Tuesday, but even then, it doesn't appear as if we'll be able to squeeze much rainfall out of that storm system, but we can hope, right? High temperatures are going to be, well, finally, they're not going to be extreme, not nearly as extreme as they were at the beginning of this week, but highs still above average for this time of the year by about 3 to 5 degrees, but we'll certainly take this as opposed to what we dealt with on Monday when we hit 103, 104 in the lower Columbia Basin. Here's the 7-day forecast for the basin in the Tri-Cities. A dry forecast with highs in the mid to upper 80s. We'll have some breezy conditions here or there. Thankfully, nothing windy, nothing technically windy at least. Then in the Yakima Valley, highs in the low to mid 80s over the next week and tracking small shower chances for Tuesday. In Ellensburg, more dangerous fire weather today and tomorrow. Calmer winds Saturday through Monday. Then maybe the winds picking up again next week. Also tracking that small shower chance for Tuesday. In Hermiston, we'll keep it dry, but turning a bit hazy for tomorrow due to the Rowena fire that's burning. Again, it's one of those fires that's burning to the west of our viewing area, but some of those northwesterly winds could bring in some of that haze into Hermiston for tomorrow. We'll see if that sustains itself after that. Then in Walla Walla, highs in the low to mid 80s as our forecast stays mostly dry over the next 7 days.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is 5:53, or yes, 5:53. That means it's time for your morning sprint in our 5 o'clock hour.
It's already been a long hour, hasn't it? It's only not even 6 o'clock yet. Yeah. Here are the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. Taking you to West Richland first, a brush fire forcing evacuations near Clark Court and North Lake. It broke out late last night. Strong winds helped push those flames. They actually jumped an irrigation canal. Fire crews say they have now stopped the spread of that fire, though, towards the Yakima River. Luckily, no homes at the moment have been reported lost. Some outbuildings, though, were damaged. Units do remain on scene, and a shelter has been set up at Temple Baptist Church.
In Kennewick, a multi-agency SWAT operation ended in 3 arrests. Detectives had tracked one wanted suspect to a home on West 4th Avenue, but 2 more people who also had felony warrants were taken into custody. The charges are tied to past criminal history and drug offenses.
And over in Yakima, police are searching for 6-year-old Kleber Rondon Rodriguez. He's believed to have been taken out of the state by that woman right there on your screen, Maribel Rodriguez Perez. And we're told that she took him without permission. The two were last seen boarding a Greyhound bus to LA on June 4th. Authorities say multiple agencies are now involved in the search.
And the search for Travis Decker, the Wenatchee father accused of killing his 3 young daughters, continues in Chelan County. The U.S. Marshals have joined the search, launching a nationwide effort to track him down. One sheriff saying there's nowhere that Decker can hide.
And in Richland, crews responded to a large house fire. Details still very limited this morning. What we do know, though, is firefighters from Richland, Kennewick, Pasco, and Benton County all on scene. Richland police also responding. No word right now on any injuries or just how much damage was done to that house, but the cause is under investigation as we speak.
In your national headlines this morning, the wait list to sign up for a Trump card visa is now open. The Trump card is a $5 million visa that would give foreign nationals the right to live and work permanently in the U.S. The card would replace the government's EB-5 immigrant investor visa, and that program grants green cards to immigrants who make a $1.8 million investment into the U.S.
5:55 in your business headlines this morning. Costco members holding an executive membership can expect some added benefits to start later this month. Retailers saying executive members will have extended hours starting June 30th. Locations will now open at 9 a.m. for those upper level members and remain open an extra hour on Saturdays for all members.
In your health news, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has appointed 8 new advisors to the CDC's Vaccine Advisory Panel, and this comes just 2 days after he removed the previous 17-member panel, citing conflicts of interest. The revamped panel includes several outspoken critics of the government's COVID-19 response, and they are expected to meet later this month to review guidance on COVID-19 and HPV vaccines.
Trending
this morning.
Come on over, buddy. We're talking dinos. All right, trend yourself on over here.
So
come on in.
Scientists have identified a previously unknown dinosaur species, one that's 86 million years old.
Yeah, they named it the Dragon Prince of Mongolia. The dinosaur was small compared to its larger relatives like the T-Rex.
In fact, this newly identified species is the closest known ancestor of the T-Rex. Scientists believe it served as a transitional species from early Tyrannosauroid species. Everyone knows those.
Everyone knows those.
These findings suggest 3 big migrations between Asia and North America led the species to evolve into a gargantuan size before going extinct 66 million years ago. It just shocks me that they're still finding different dinosaur species and all other sorts of animals. It's crazy.
I know.
And they're going to find more. It's just inevitable.
We need more dinosaur movies. Land Before Time.
Wild.
And Jurassic Park.
Would you go? If Jurassic Park were a thing and it opened,
we've
would
seen
you
this
go?
over and over, and it's a bad idea. But
it's a bad idea, but you might go.
Maybe they need to do like a simulation, not the real ones. Yeah.
It's like asking, like, what'd you get on the Titanic? You know?
Like, I would say yes, but
No
we've
thanks.
seen it not
play out so well.
Yeah.
All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up in our 6 o'clock hour, we are continuing to keep a very close eye on a number of fires, brush fires and house and apartment fires burning around the area right now, tracking multiple fires, keeping crews very busy. We have the latest updates as they are continuing to become available this morning.
Plus, from addiction to recovery, how Benton County's mental health court helped 3 people turn their lives around. All those headlines and more are coming up in your next hour. And Josh, what are you tracking?
Yeah, we are tracking not only reductions in evacuation levels from the Cle Elum fire, but a new fire popping up in southwestern Walla Walla County. I'll have more information on that coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.